All right, guys. In this training, we're going to be talking about how you can completely automate your entire business with sales funnels and automations and systems. Okay. Now, for business to run and stay in business, you need a couple of things. The first thing that you need is to find people. Now, this is people. You can be divided into two categories. That's going to be customers and partners. Okay. You need a way to find people to bring into your business. Okay. So that's going to be the marketing arm of the business. Okay. So that's marketing. Once you find someone that could be a good fit for what you're doing or what you're selling, then you need a system that's going to sell those people on what you're doing. Okay. This is very simple to understand. So this is sales. So you need a system that sells people. And then the last part is then you need to train people, whether it's your customers, how to use the product, or number two, if it's partners, you need something that's actually going to train people how to do what you just did. So this can be retention. Now, let's go into marketing here. Okay, so there's old forms of marketing. They still work. I'm not going to say that they don't, but there are new systems that work. Okay, so the old systems of marketing is cold calling and door to door and talking to friends and family. That is the old version of marketing. And you have to get on the phone, and it's very limited by your time that you have. Once you find people and you call them, you can do it a couple of ways. Um, Old way is you can do a three-way call. So we'll do 3 phones here for the three-way call. Or you can send them to, this looks like a hospital, but it's actually a hotel meeting. And you have this hotel meeting that's going to sell these people on the new opportunity or the products to purchase. Okay, and once you bring in these people, you need also a follow up system. What is the follow up system? More calling, more texting, more messaging on Facebook, that kind of thing. And then maybe have to invite them to another meeting or something, right? This is the old forms. And then once they do buy, how do you train these people? They, a lot of times, hey, come to another meeting. We can train you every month. We'll send out some training for you, right? And this is the old version of marketing, the old way of business systems. Okay, so once we talk about that, okay, so let's talk about the limitations here. Okay, what are the limitations to calling people for the marketing? Now, the biggest one that you'll find here is there is only so much time in the day that you can call people. Okay, you have a list of 100 people. If each call takes 5 minutes or 2 minutes, that's 200 minutes, um, assuming that there's no time between calls and they're answering, right? You're limited by the amount of time that you have. The next limitation is the number of contacts. Like if you have no system that will generate leads for you, you're just limited by the amount of contacts that you personally know. Right? So this isn't a bad thing. Again, this is just the way it is, the old systems. Okay, you're limited by the number of people that you actually know, the number of people that you actually have their phone numbers for, and number of people you actually have on Facebook. You sending them messages. You're limited by those numbers. Okay, next over here to the system that will sell people. What are the limitations there? Again, this kind of system is limited by the amount of time that it takes to put in that information for that system. Um, if you have to go to a meeting, um, it's the amount of time of travel, it's the amount of time the actual meeting takes. You can't be calling people while you're at this meeting. So very limited by time. Okay, the next system, because a lot of people are starting to use Facebook and videos for the system that will sell people, which is great, and I think that's an awesome step forward. But how do you follow up with people? How do you even know if they watch the video or not? Um, Again, you're limited by the amount of time that you have with these phone calls and texts that you're going to have to send out, whether through Facebook, Messenger, or not. Okay, you're limited by the amount of follow ups that you have there. Next, training people and retention. How do you, what's the limitation with that? Is time. I was looking recently into a new opportunity and looking into another company's systems that they're using, and they wanted to sit down with me for 2 hours to go and make a list and talk to people and set up this plan and set up a hotel meeting and a home meeting and an online event and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're going to take up 2 hours out of one of my days to train me on how to do this. Turns out we were never able to get in touch with each other because their schedule didn't meet up with my schedule. They didn't want to do it over the phone. And I was just like, this is really pointless. And I do not want to have to do this with every single person that I bring in. 2 hours out of my day, that's just another job. Say I recruit two people in a day, every day. That's 4 hours. That's anyway, I could go on. But this is the old system of business. So this is the old system. So let's just update this here. So this is the old system. You can do this system and it will be really slow for you. Eventually you'll have success. The problem is most people are not willing to go through the amount of time that it takes for all of this to be able to actually get the ball rolling. And so it's in the best interest of my team and the people that I train to look for ways to actually automate as much of this system as possible. All right, so we have these old systems. Let's look at some new systems that you can use to automate as much of this as possible. Okay. So, what are some systems that you can use to automate to find people? Now, cool thing is we have the internet now, right? There's people every single day looking for ways to solve their problems with resources that you have. Okay, and the cool thing with the internet here, okay, I put a couple of my favorite sources of marketing: Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, doing a podcast. They're like little pieces of real estate. You go out and you create content and you put it out there on Facebook, you put it on YouTube, you put it on a podcast, and that piece of content will live on forever. And it will do a lot of the attracting for you rather than having to go out and reach out to people. They actually will start coming to you. Okay, what are the limitations on this? Um, it does take a little bit of time to start up and to make these. The biggest limitation is going to be the knowledge, because people don't know how or what kind of information to put out there. So this is all about leveraging the time that you have. So you can leverage your own time, and then once you start getting people into your business, you can start having them do the same thing. So the leverage goes even faster. It's like exponential growth times two. Okay, so the biggest challenge, though, that people have, the biggest limitation is the knowledge to actually do this. Okay, so the next system that you have to switch over to is how do you sell people on your product, and how do you sell people on on joining your opportunity. And that's where a sales funnel comes in. Okay, a sales funnel will take the people that get into are interested in your products. You can guide them through learning about your product, guide them to signing up to become customers, learn about becoming a partner. Now, again, the entire process of this is completely automated. And so the nice thing is, a lot of times, um, you can get into a system that's already pre-built for you, and then you can add in just a little bit of your own flavor to it. That's what I teach my team to do. Is I have this whole system that's built up and that they can tap into, and then they add their own little flavor so they're unique and different. Because let's face it, if you're selling a product and it's the exact same as somebody else, what's the benefit of you going with person A or person B? There is no benefit. There's no difference. The only difference is what that person adds extra to that product. And so that is an extra benefit. So you want to add your own little flavor. Again, that takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of knowledge. But once you do that, you actually will put people right into this automated system through a sales funnel. Biggest limitation is the knowledge of how to build out that sales funnel. Now, the nice thing is a lot of the systems are already built to educate, teach people, and not only to get them to be interested in the products, but also to be interested in the opportunity. Now, that opportunity is great because it makes it easy for you to train people because it's all automated for you. You actually don't even have to put in your own time. I've already put in the time for you, and then this will educate you and the people that you bring in for you automatically. And this is where this comes in as well to train people. You must train them in the right ways to help them duplicate this process through their team, their customers. Okay, guys, so that's the end of this training here. But the biggest thing that you want to take away from this is you want to do things and activities that are exponential, meaning that they will continue to get results long term. This is the concept of residual, right? If you do something once, you want to be able to get benefits from that from every single day going forward or multiple times going forward. Okay, so why take time making calls that disappear as soon as you get done with the call? Why not go and make something with that same amount of time that you're going to put in that will then educate and teach people and attract people to you every single day for long as that content is out there, right? You want to make content that's exponential. You want to make training that's exponential. And then once you recruit people, those people's time is now being exponential as well. You just created more time.